Welcome to Cinema Express, Manoj Bajpayee. I'm Karthik. It's Banda. I want to start off with Banda. It's such a power-packed, desk-thumping performance you have given, and your film is taking a different route. Like mostly films come on theaters and then they go to OTT. I think this is the first film which is coming on OTT first, and now it is being released in theaters. I want to start off with this. Was this always the plan? Like this is how you thought this is going to pan out?
To be honest, I wanted uh, uh, this film to release in theater,
Okay.
and I was in my minority.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Vinod Bhanushali or Z Studio, because it was Z Studio and Vinod Bhanushali's property, and I was fighting with them. Okay, but Z Studio somehow was very clear that it should go on Z5. And then they were planning to really push it to very aggressively in the marketing and PR. I was very assertive.
Yeah.
I had 5-6 meetings, but they were not listening to me. They were really not listening. They were showing me data and surveys and all that, and there I just kind of kept my mouth shut. But when the somewhere Z Studio said that if it does well, we'll try to convince Z5 to get it in few theaters. But that was a promise, but the way people started demanding, and so much so that it seemed like they were really angry that it has not come in theater. So because of that aggressive demand, Sharik and spoke to Z5, and they agreed in that the film can go in few theaters. But the problem was that multiplex has a rule which we are not aware of. That multiplex has a rule of not showing any film which is released on OTT earlier. Okay? So that is why we could not get a spread. Okay, so we released it in few select single screen, but at least we created a history here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that gave us quite a happiness and satisfaction.
You're right, because when I saw the film initially, when it was shown for a press screening, it was shown on a theater.
Right.
And then we were like, this is a theater film.
Right.
Like this is such like big scale, dialogue and everything. It felt like a theater film. So I think deservedly it deserves to be a theatrical release. But I want to know, like, since the film is also being played on OTT, what is the thing like? Because OTT भी play हो रहा है, तो ऐसा नहीं होता कि like, what if people might not come? Like, no, they might enjoy it on OTT.
So what was so amazing about it? I mean, believe me, had there been no policy or as such of multiplexes, you would have seen this film everywhere and really packed houses. Why I say this? Because people who have seen it twice and thrice, they were writing it on social media that they would go again to watch it in big big theater on big screen only for the big screen experience. Okay, and they wouldn't have minded it. Rather they were very happy to buy the tickets if at all it was running somewhere nearby. So, and this is the feedback I've been getting. But yes, we were given only few select single screen, which is fine. Somewhere we kind of respected the audience demand, but there is a problem that multiplexes have certain policy that didn't allow them to show Banda, which already been released on OTT.
Also, this is your 30th year in the industry, 30 years, and like everything is flashing in my mind from Corn, Shul, Bandit Queen, everything. I have some like iconic characters, which some of my favorite characters of yours, and I have some related questions. I want to start with your first film. I want to start with Bandit Queen. Recently, Shekhar Kapoor put up this Instagram post where he said that real Daku Man Singh actually slipped into the tent. ठीक है, और उन्होंने पोस्ट में लिखा था that you and Man Singh actually enjoyed a drink together and he wanted to meet the person who is playing him. क्या बात हुई थी सर? क्या कॉन्वर्सेशन था?
बहुत सारी बातें होती थी कार्तिक,
हाँ,
बहुत सारी बातें होती थी। 30 साल पहले की बात है, उससे भी पहले की, जब मैंने शूटिंग शुरू की थी। वो उस समय अभी रिहा हो चुके थे
हाँ,
फ्रॉम द जेल इन यूपी, एंड ही वाज एंजॉयिंग हिज फ्रीडम। एंड ये फिल्म बन रही थी, शेखर से उन्होंने बोला था कि मुझे उस एक्टर से मिलना है। it was a it was quite bizarre for me that Man Singh, whose photographs I have seen in the novel,
yeah,
on which the film was based upon, he looked a certain way, but now he was looking all filled up and healthy, and in kurta pajama, khadi ka kurta pajama. He stayed with me in the same
yeah,
room that we were staying, okay, in the guest house where we were all staying. He used to participate in all after shooting, get together of cooking various kind of food, and drinking and chit chat. So he was part of all of it. But I realized that he was always on tenterhook, always. But he never felt safe when we get out of the shoot or when we get out of the guest house to go on the shoot. He was always looking, checking the road, left and right, up and down. He was always guiding the driver as to how slow he should, go, or how fast he should go, and where he should be careful about. So what I have seen, that the life after jail was not that happy
yeah,
for him.
yeah,
It was, and then I asked him as to why he was so, alert all the time. Then he told me that if you are a bandit once, then you are a bandit forever, because all the enmity, those who are there, it goes for generations.
yeah, yeah,
So you really can't say that you surrendered, you spend the time in the prison, and you'll have no enemy. No enemies here. They may die, but their sons never die.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It goes on. Yeah. So
gangs of Wasseypur भी तो वही है sir.
yes.
Like people get, yeah, that's what. But sir, आपको like you didn't feel afraid like suddenly like the guy you are playing is suddenly in front of you, and that
I'm
too a Daku.
Also, I will tell you. So I come from a village in Champaran in
Yeah,
Bihar,
yeah,
and near Nepal border, and our area was notorious for the dacoits. Okay,
yeah,
and they used to kidnap and run into the jungle and cross the border. Okay, my own cousin brother was when I was 18 years old, he was kidnapped, and he was in the jungle for couple of months. So our dacoits were far more notorious, far more brutal or lethal. So Man Singh told me that when Phulan and him, escaped after Behmai, so there was no other place left for them but to go to that area. And he told me that he stayed in that time when he was on the run with Phulan. He went till my village to the border.
okay.
Yeah. And there he told me that, we Chambal bandits always had few principles, but those dacoits doesn't have any principle. And I said, yes, you're right. So we wish to discuss about the culture of the dacoit
culture across.
Yeah, and the culture of dacoits in Chambal those days.
Manoj sir, I want to also talk to you about Samay Pratap Singh, your character from Shul. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that character is very how much you are as a person. Is it true? Like, is it like very similar to your personality?
No, not at all.
No,
No.
Are you that principled guy? Because I like the principles he
I'm
has.
not that. No. He is Samar Pratap is someone who is young and who has taken his moral science very literally.
Okay.
Okay. And he wants to lead his life, by those principles that has been taught in the classroom. Okay. And that becomes his weakness. Okay, I am far more clever, intelligent.
But initially also, like when you started off your career,
No,
Puffy as anything?
I was a rebel. I was a
Yeah.
rebel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but that cannot be equated with Samar Pratap Singh. Rebel is different. Rebel is somebody who wants to change certain things, change the way. I wanted, I didn't agree with the way industry was functioning itself. I didn't agree in the manner the talents were being wasted. I didn't agree in the manner only a certain looks were preferred for the protagonist role, and I didn't agree with the way villains were being treated, the character actors. So it was more of a rebel.
Yeah. But Summer also has that. He has that
Summer,
irritation of with the system.
he wants to be with the system.
Yeah.
That is why he's in this job, but he wants to serve the country. He wants to serve the people in the right manner. So, but he doesn't know that, taking two step backwards is also should also be part of the game. He didn't know how to take a step backwards and take a jump from there. So he's I always maintain that Samar Pratap Singh is an idiot.
Okay.
You can achieve your goal, yes, definitely through anger, but sometimes through using your mind. It's at the end of the day, you want to achieve things in your own way. Then you have to be intelligent, and that you have to have common sense. I think when you start understanding that your anger is coming in the way, then you try to work on it. I think I was intelligent enough to understand that my anger is coming in my way.
Another one of my favorite characters is Raghavan from Hux. I just grew up with him.
Right.
And I was rewatching the film again, or I saw this scene where there is an integration scene between Amitabh Bachchan and your character. And he talks about Samaj and how like Raghavan is also a face of Samaj. It's eerily similar to what happened in The Dark Knight. It's the same. It's ekdam same because the film came in 2001 and Dark Knight came in 2008. Ekdam same like the undercurrent of the scene is the same.
Karthik, I'm so happy that you mentioned this, because many of my friends and I, we always discuss this, that how we were the first one to come up with the Dark Knight or the Joker.
Yes.
But हम अगर बोलते तो लोग कहते हैं कि they are trying to take the credit and being pompous. Good that you have mentioned this. I'm so happy you've done it. It took me 6 to 7 months to prepare to really make that character. And there was no character as such. It was written, the dialogues were in English. When it was given to Kamlesh Pandeyji to write the dialogue, he didn't know. And he confessed it to Rakesh. He said, you are asking me to write dialogues for evil. How can I write dialogues? How can I start? Then Rakesh said that Manoj has been preparing to be evil, and he has shown me certain improvisation. So let's do one thing, that I'll ask Manoj to come and improvise all those things in front of you, so that you get some kind of instigation, some kind of catalyst. And I went to his house. We spoke about it. न कोई मरता है न कोई मारता है, ये मैं नहीं कहता, गीता में लिखा है, मैं तो सिर्फ निमित्त मात्र हूं. These were the things I have improvised while rehearsing in my house. And when I started talking to him and started improvising, then it became very crystal clear to him, to all of us, how we are going to deal with this character. Because for me, evil was flamboyant. Evil was dark. Evil was lust. Evil was attractive. Okay, so if he was Krishna, then he was Kans also. If he was Ram, then he was Ravan also. So there was all sides of evil. And I still remember I was sitting in in a bar in Atlanta in the US. And that time, you know, in my mind, it was only going on. Raghavan was going on in my mind. And I was sitting in this bar and lounge and saw those alcohol bottles, and I realized evil is so attractive.
Yeah.
So all the alcohol bottles that you see, all of them are so attractive.
Yes.
You know, but inside there is something else. There is toxic. There is poison. But the bottle is so attractive. Yeah. So that's the definition of evil I got from that bar where I was sitting. Okay. And I have given so much of time and thought and energy in making that character. And one day there was a mask which was kept in Rakesh's house. It was a big one. I said, can we get a small one, the similar one, so that I can keep it here? And, you know, we did it. But now if I go ahead and tell people that we've created Joker much before the Joker happened, yes, you know, people will not believe us. But thank you very much, Karthik. Thank you very much for mentioning it.
I want to talk to you about Karara Jawab Milega, another of your iconic dialogues. Is it true that Prakash Jha didn't want it initially in the film?
You know, he told me. So I was dubbing because the entire thing we had to dub. So I was finishing my dubbing, and the last thing was, you know, certain corrections in that speech, Karara Jawab Milega. And then he told me that, you know, I personally wanted to chop this off, but my entire office revolted against me. You know, so now I have to keep it only for the sake of the office and the assistant directors and the production people, because they have really put their foot down. They revolted against, and it was all in my back. But yeah, I'll really give it to him. We rehearsed. Prakashji wanted me to rehearse and show it to him. I showed it to him one night before in Bhopal, and I went there. The 3 cameras were set up. I did one rehearsal and gave the take, and I was sent off to the hotel. But I didn't know that it will create such a landmark thing that it became. Till now, people, you know,
memes are
memes are there, and so many news channels use it till now.
Sir, अभी मतलब सरदार खान की मुझे बात करनी पड़ेगी. मतलब आई नो आप बोर हो चुके होगे सरदार खान की बात करके.
ठीक है.
But I want to talk to you about the deleted scene of Banks of Wasseypur, where you and Richa Chadda are like on the side of a waterfall. There is a vacation happening, और आप गाना गा रहे हैं, कोई मुझे जंगली कहे.
हाँ.
और उनको सायरा बानो बोल रहे हैं. वो सीन कैसे हुआ था? Like I don't think people talk about that scene that much. Know about that?
यार वो सीन ना वो उसने लिखा था कि there has to be a scene like that in the early days, you know. So Anurag is like that. Anurag is so you know, he improvises. He keeps improvising. He keeps thinking about it. He keeps, you know, trying to add unique color to his characters and the scenes, and that's when he came up with and he said, let's go and shoot it. He's not even given us any time to prepare. He just gave us an idea, and we tried to, you know, make that scene on the location itself. And that's how it all happened. But eventually उसने रखा भी नहीं उसको.
कुछ reason था नहीं रखने का? Ultimately,
no, it was not fitting in. It was not fitting into this scheme of things.
I want to talk about Gali Guliya. You have said that role actually took a lot from you. How was the process of creating?
Oh my God! I don't think I can ever do anything similar to that now. But I will never take it, because it was really taking it too far. When I was reading the script, I was going through it again and again, noting down. I realized that this is not going to work if I really don't push myself completely on the edge. First, I was trying to get into it. When I got into it, then there was there was certain awareness about it that I'm into it, but how far can I go into it? And I started spending a lot of time in that dilapidated house, not even going to the base to have my lunch or rest. I started staying there till the backup. And it went really, I really went into the hole completely, mentally. So one day on the 28th day, I still remember, I started hearing whistles in my ear, brain, you know. And I went to my director. I said, I think there's something going wrong with me. I'm hearing whistles in my head. Please help me. So he spoke to his doctor, and doctor said, if just send him to the base and give him Campos, okay, immediately. So I took the pill, and I slept, kept on sleeping. When I woke up, I felt far better, and then he gave me 1 day rest. And that's how we could manage to shoot the rest of the day. 3 days were left, and we were all praying that, nothing happens before that. And once the film was wrapped, Karthik, he said, please go and sleep. My doctor is coming. You can speak to your doctor. Please rest, sir. Get it out of your system. I said, I really don't know how to get it of my system. Only thing I know that I'll just kind of join you guys in the wrap-up party. Then only I'll be distracted. I went there. I had my, because I don't take hard liquor at all. So I had my few glasses of wine, went off to sleep. I kept on sleeping every day. Long hours I used to sleep. That's how I kind of calmed myself down, calmed my nerves down.
Sir, even at this age, isn't it tough, like physically, like so much exertion, your roles and stuff?
Yeah, it is. It is very tough, Karthik. But chor bazari hoti nahi hai. So, and this is something that I love doing. I'm very passionate about. Banda's speech I have done, more than 150 times. My director and everyone used to be surprised and shocked. And they only told me later on that they were all completely shocked how much I was putting myself into it. But at the end of the day, I'm so passionate about this craft called acting that when I start doing it, when I try to achieve something, then I don't think that the exertion is happening, or I'm really suffering and I'm putting myself to test. No, nothing of that sort. At that point of time, no. It's something that I like to stay in that zone. Not anything else. Actually, I don't enjoy anything else more than being on the set and facing the camera.
Sir, this is I'm talking about all your really iconic roles. You have said that your wife criticizes some of your performances that you have done.
Right.
Has she seen Mrs. Serial Killer?
She has. She has.
What was her take on it?
I will not talk about it in the media. Because I have a reason for it. There are few things fall in place. There are few things don't fall in place. The intention of making those films are similar, but the results, mostly are not in your hands. Not really. No matter how brilliant a filmmaker, I believe in Shirish. I really believe that the kind of talent he is. May God give him the due as quickly as possible, because it's late now. I just hope that one day he gives me an amazing script. I'm still willing to work with him. I have worked with him in a short film called Kirti, and I enjoyed doing that one. I realized that this guy, there are very few makers, young guys who are, who have complete belief and conviction about mainstream, the craft of mainstream direction. And the Banda's director, Apurv Singh, has that. He believes in mainstream. Likewise, Shirish believes in mainstream films. And his believability, his conviction is something that I'm in awe of. I just hope that he has something really great for me, so that we can do it as soon as possible.
Okay, coming to like one of my favorite portrayals of anxiety on screen has come from your role in Gulmohar,
Right.
and how he twitches his hands and
Right.
fingers. How did that happen? Like how did you create the character?
So the Gulmohar, readings have everything happened. Rahul Chetela, he sat with me many times on readings, and all the notes that I was making, we were discussing every day. Now was the time to reach Delhi for the shoot, and I reached for the first day shoot, but there was something bothering me. It doesn't happen that often, and that was troubling me, that there is something lacking. There's something lacking in my performance. I don't know what. All the ideas, all the rehearsals that I have done in Bombay, there was something that I was very, very concerned about, that there's something that I am not able to find out. And I was going through that scene, and in the instruction, the first time I read the instruction, usually what happens is that you read the instruction very vaguely. Once you read it for first time, after the second, third time, you are not focusing that much on instruction. You are focusing on the dialogues and the interaction. I read the instruction, I just happened to, and there it was written, and Arun's hand shakes a little bit, and he is gasping for air. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, the performance is there. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is when I called Rahul Chitela, my director, and I said, let's make a graph of this. Let's put the seed from the beginning in Arun, and let's keep increasing it. And that worked, Karthik. That was such a great decision by both of us, and that has given me the idea about Arun Batra. I really thank, my luck that I happened to read the instruction.
But you don't like seeing yourself on screen.
On monitor, I don't watch myself. I believe Shekhar Kapoor in my first film said that is, do your job, let the cameraman do his job.
Yeah.
You just stay in the character, in the scene. Be assured that the cameraman will capture all the moment. You should.
But you don't see your films also?
Usually I don't, Karthik, but whenever they insist on me watching it and giving my opinion, I get angry with my directors that they have really ruined my performance.
But क्यों है sir ऐसा? Like it has been so many years. अब तो मतलब आप देख सकते हो ना? क्या कभी भी लगता है कुछ कमी रह गई है?
मुझे बहुत ज्यादा लगता है, बहुत ज्यादा। मैं बहुत ट्रबल होता हूँ, मैं बहुत ज्यादा तकलीफ होती है मुझे, because I always think that ये काट दिया उन्होंने, अरे यार उसमें वो चीज था, अरे यहाँ पे मेरा रह गया, थोड़ा इसको और थोड़ा फाइन ट्यून करना था मुझे, that expression, that line, the pitch should have been up, pitch should have been down. So I'm always looking at the minute thin thing, but I think that's also part of the growth as an actor. Is also, I'm so passionate about all of those things, that it bothers me. But yeah, what to do? I mean, it's been my journey of evolution, and I just hope that it continues like this.
Sir, how would you describe your directions? कैसा रहा जो?
Okay, I could really. There are only two factors worked in my favor. I'm a believer, so I will say that, because of God's blessing. And secondly, because God has really given me a lot of patience, loads and loads of patience. I could go on and on waiting for my turn with the same amount of vigor and aggression.
On that note, thank you so much.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking question. Thank you. Somebody has asked me this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure speaking.